So using the Tour Striker swing trainer, moving it from the hip up to the chest again, so that way I can have the feel at setup of comfortably push outwards with my arms. It doesn't have to be straight locked out, just comfortably extended, so that way the distance between my chest and the club head's already comfortably long, as opposed to having it short, and that's something else I have to manage in the swing. So comfortably long at setup, a little bit of push there. And then in this little video, I just kind of want to talk about more the thumbs up, thumbs down, or this would be ulnar, radial, motion-wise. So if we're looking down the line and we have it set up with a little bit of space in between the band and my hands or the grip, as I make a motion, if I come down and that handle raises up dramatically, what that's going to do is lengthen out the circle, and I'm going to get the circle too low into the ground, so it's going to crash behind the golf ball. So my visual is whatever distance I have at setup in that position. When I make my motion, right elbow is going to soften slightly, the band might soften slightly, but on the way through, can I maintain that distance between the grip and the band? Where my swing, I have a tendency of kind of standing up a little faster, thumbs go down. So managing that timing of the up and the down kind of affects some of the bottom of my circle. Now I can take care of that by starting with the thumbs already way down or the handle a lot closer to the band. So that way when it comes out, it manages the bottom of the circle. But just for a little standard shot, as I just have the grip slightly down, it's still, the club's still a little bit up on the toe. I'm not setting it way down so the toe's up in the air. That when I make my motion, can I maintain that same little distance between the band and the golf ball? So if I get into my setup, stock little shot, grip's pointing at the left hip, ball's centered slightly back. My rehearsal, about parallel to the ground, right arm's kind of soft, but then when I come through, I'm just kind of holding the finish and saying, what does that feel like versus what does that feel like? Now if I had too much, I'd take out the slack. So if I rehearse too much, a little softness, there's a little bit more re-hinging on the way through to help get the club out of the ground. But I'm just gonna hit a little wedge here. So comfortable little push at setup. Right arm's gonna soften the backswing. Then when it comes through, holding my finish, I go, ooh, what does that feel like? What does that look like to me? And if I was gonna make a motion to the camera, there's my little comfortable push at setup. Little turn in the backswing, club's gonna work up and in. It's gonna work back down to the ball. But then when I hold my finish, you can see that's a lot different than me raising the grip too quickly or the band's running into my forearm. It might feel like I'm trying to keep the grip lower to the ground or away from the band. So in working on controlling my circle height relative to the ground, the wrist is a big factor. So the more I set up at the golf ball with more angle in the wrist or the grip's farther away from the band on my chest, the more I have to manage that motion or time the up as I go thumbs down. But if I can just have the awareness of where that's starting and where I'm trying to make a motion through, trying to return that, the more it's been helping me control the bottom of the circle. So hopefully this helps some of you out there getting the idea that if I set up with handle very low, say like a bunker shot in there, as I come through, I'd want to be maintaining that position as opposed to something that'd be raising the handle too fast. And if you're on the opposite side, where you're someone that has a very low handle coming through, you might just feel like it's starting slightly closer to the band or wherever you like to start it, but then on the way through, might feel like it's kind of going into the band in your motion.